This week in the garden, we tied up all of the tomato plants. They were tall enough where we could tie them up because they reached the trellis. So we straightened them out, gave them some room, some wiggle room, and enough slack so they can still sway. And as they move up the trellis, we will still continue to tie them. And we put down some more paper. This is the second set of paper I put down this year. I usually put 3. Unfortunately, I did run out of paper. I only got to do half of the garden in the second round of paper. But I do have friends and family that of course get junk mail. And we get junk mail. So eventually, we'll get more paper here in the garden. But this is how easy it is. It works as a mulch. It compresses the weeds. He is having so much fun mowing the lawn. Gotta start him early, right? Our Macintosh apple tree has a few apples on it. Looking pretty good. I think I counted last. We have about 12 on it, and this is its second year in the ground. So not bad. Our peach tree looks pretty healthy here. We don't have any peaches on it this year though. Maybe next year. This is our plum tree. We got it for like $5 because nobody wanted it because it was cockeyed. But I gave it a home late last fall. Here it is. We had 1 plum on it, but something got it. It didn't even turn purple. It was about the size of a quarter and then disappeared. But hey, even misfits need a home. I did end up going and getting plants from the big box store. I wasn't entirely sure if they were all going to make it, and I still wanted some peppers. So we got 2 types of chili peppers. We got a sweet banana pepper and 6 bell peppers. I'm hoping on the other side that my chili peppers and my Advarsky peppers do pull through and the chickens did not entirely make them go. And here I pulled out a brick that apparently one of the kids buried in my garden. They come in here during the winter time and bury fun things for me to eventually find. Nathan found it hilarious and laughed at me when I brought it and said, "Who buried this one?" Yep. The chickens never ate my thyme, but they just kept digging up the thyme. I don't know why, but I kept putting it in this corner and they would just dig it up and leave it. They wouldn't eat it. But I got one from the big box store. All the plants right now were on sale. They didn't have much to pick from, but I didn't need much. The tomatoes and all the potatoes and the rest of my herbs are all doing good. But chickens, oh my goodness, when the chickens get in here and then trying to chase them out. I know there's a whole bunch of bugs in here and worms, and they just scratch and they eat all the baby worms that are on the top, underneath the paper. But come on, chickens. We gotta have some food in the garden so we can feed ya. But after I plant these, I'll give them a nice good watering in. Plus, after this day, it did also rain. So they got 2 good waterings. I watered them in, and then it rained on them. I like this paper system. The paper sits in here, it keeps the dirt moist. It also helps suppress the weeds. And the neighbors have those helicopter trees, so as soon as they hit the soil, they like to sprout out little trees everywhere. This helps keep them away, so I'm not pulling out little trees all over the place. Plus, it's also a good home for the worms because they like to nestle into the paper and lay their eggs. Which more worms, the more the merrier. Right? Worms make the garden grow. Keep the dirt healthy. Plus it holds in moisture for the plants so they can go longer. Along with the core gardening that we did. So in between all these rows, there is the bedding from the chickens from last year, which is decomposing and also becoming worm food. And that was another rock that the kids buried. But I did speed up the video because I don't think you want to sit here and watch in slow-mo me planting everything. But if we speed it up, it goes a little faster. So I'm hoping for some green peppers and to make our own chili powder. That was the cap to, I can't remember what it was to right now, but one of our big jars that we buy in bulk. And Medicine buried that. She thought it was hilarious when I brought it to her. Is this from you? She says, yeah. It's like, great, let's not put it in the garden. Okay. During the middle of the day, it's actually quite peaceful. You get to hear the birds and the chickens. And people are at work, so their dogs aren't outside barking. People aren't racing up and down the street. The street traffic is to the minimum, so you don't hear all the cars zooming by. But during the height of the day in the afternoon, it is pretty loud and noisy with cars. But there we go. I got the peppers planted, and now it's time to move on to the little bit of cabbage. They only had 3 cabbages left. And I think they're green cabbages. I missed. I was thinking that it was this 5-foot fence, but I was wrong. We did have to put up this chicken wire to keep the chickens out of the fence. I've never seen chickens. They are at a standstill, look up, and jump. They don't even take like a running jump or a flying jump. Nothing. It's just a straight standard hup, and then they're up there, and they teeter a bit, and then they jump in. and then they go and they dig up stuff. But I'm hoping they cannot jump this high. I think we put it at 7 or 8 feet high. It's been up about 3 days, maybe 4 now, and we haven't had any chickens in there, which is great news. Like I said, the big box store didn't have many left. They had like half of a row of vegetables, and half of them weren't even marked what they were. Their little tags were gone and whatnots. But since they're on sale for, I think they were like $2 now instead of $5, I missed. It hit the fencing. Echinacea doing good. Chickens kind of came in here and decimated bottom part of the Roma tomatoes. The Jet Stars are doing still good. The potatoes that we planted in ground are doing good. All these other potatoes are doing great too. Sweet potatoes are coming up. Once that vine gets a little bit more longer, it reaches the top of the bucket, I'll pour more dirt on it to reach the top, like those 2, 3. That is my peppermint. Those are my elderberry bushes. Cucumbers are doing great. Potatoes are massive. Amazing. Sunflowers are doing great. Volunteer tomato plants. The chickens ate a lot of the carrots, garlic, doing pretty good. Sage and oregano, I just gave a haircut to. We'll see if the beets come back. They left the celery alone. You just saw me plant some more cabbages and green peppers on this side. I will see if the green peppers on this side come back from the chickens. Let's see. Let's hope. I planted a watermelon there. These guys over here, let me get there without stepping on the sunflowers. These guys were volunteers. I don't know if they're pumpkins or summer squash or a zucchini. I had them all in the garden, and they popped up in various random spots, and I just rehomed them along the fence. New fencing. My husband installed all the way around. Oh, so the chickens can't get in and cause mischief. I love my husband. He's so innovative. He comes up with the coolest things just to make things work. I gave my dill a haircut. All right, and I gave my tarragon, yes, tarragon, a haircut as well. Put those in the dehydrator. These were also volunteer tomato plants that just popped up randomly in the garden, and I rehomed them here. We're looking pretty good. I put the paper down to help with moisture and weed control. I ran out. But then again, I mean, as you see, I put down paper at the beginning of the year. As it rains and whatnot, it degrades back into the soil, and then you put more down, and then it'll degrade back. And unfortunately, I don't have any more to put down in the fall yet. I mean, we do get a lot of junk mail, so we just shred up all the junk mail, and this is where it goes. but the garden is coming along. Yeah, these are my chive towers. The chickens, leave them alone, pretty much. But they're looking pretty good. But I had to put the strawberries into the garden because the chickens like to dust bath in the dirty mulch chicken area that used to be strawberries. But now the chickens have fun in it. But my chives look good. This is just a weed. Yep. Used to be strawberries. That's it for this week's video of what's in the garden. If you like garden videos, like and subscribe. And give us a thumbs up. And I'll make more. See you next time.